QAD is an ERP system that focuses on midsize manufacturing organizations. But what exactly is it, and what are some of the strengths and weaknesses? That's what we'll talk about here today. My name is Eric Kimberling. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent tech-agnostic consulting company that helps clients throughout the world with their digital transformation journeys. One of the services we provide is software selection, and we also work a lot with manufacturing companies throughout the world. And QAD is one of the ERP systems that clients will often look at. Now, QAD has been around for a long time. A lot of people might view QAD as an old, outdated technology. It certainly has been around for long enough to where it could be. But QAD is going through its own transformation of sorts. It's completely revamped its entire product suite, ranging from adaptive ERP, as well as Champion AI and Redzone connected workforce. There's three primary solutions that QAD provides. And what I want to do today is I'm actually at the annual QAD conference called Champions of Manufacturing. And I'm going to go on the scene here to talk to QAD consultants and QAD customers. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm actually going to talk to the CEO of QAD to find out what's new and what direction they're taking the company. And if you'd like to learn more about manufacturing trends and technologies you should be considering for your digital transformation, be sure to check out our 2025 Manufacturing Digital Transformation Report. If you're a manufacturer and you're thinking about how to use technology to improve your business, you're going to want to check this out. It's independent tech agnostic, contains software reviews and rankings, as well as tips to make your digital transformation more successful. You can read that for free by scanning the QR code right here or go to the links below. So let's go check out the conference and see what QAD is all about. So now I'm here with Ken, who is the president of Redzone. So Ken, thanks for being here, first of all.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
So tell me a little bit about Redzone and how does Redzone fit into the QAD world?
Oh, very good. So Redzone is the world's #1 connected workforce solution. The way we measure that is you stack up all of our customers. We're in 1,700 factories globally. You look at other connected workforce solutions, and maybe the next 4 still don't add up to 1,700 factories. It's a solution focused almost strictly on the front lines in manufacturing. So it brings data from the equipment, it brings data from your ERP, it brings data from other business systems, but just the information that operators, maintenance technicians, quality technicians, warehouse workers need to do their job very, very well. Redzone is the only connected workforce solution that pairs the technology with a 90-day coaching program. We are built into the solution, but then they're coached in so that after that 90 days, you've transformed the culture. Or for companies that already have that culture on the shop floor, you've just made it much easier for the, you've made the right thing to do, the easy thing to do by removing a lot of the administrative burden that typically comes from continuous improvement tools.
Yeah, I was just thinking, as you said, the word culture, I was thinking that sounds like a cultural change for a lot of manufacturers to be able to have that level of collaboration, that direct line of sight.
It is, and not every factory is like this, but, I think that people can resonate with a traditional factory. You've got your plant manager, a VP of ops, and you have production managers and engineers. They're creating the processes, they're creating the standard works, creating the targets. They're pushing that down to the front lines and basically monitoring if they're doing what they're supposed to. They're more of a command and control. It's a flip. And we've studied this, like factories where everyone feels like their job is to create the environment to make it very easy for the front lines to win. Those factories have higher efficiencies, they have better employee engagement, they have better employee retention, and so we productize that with the applications and the coaching.
Yeah,
I like to say we're a people company masquerading as a technology company.
Now, I've got to get the elephant out on the table right away, and that is a lot of people perceive QAD, ERP in particular, to be sort of an outdated, older legacy technology. What do you say to that, and how is the product evolving?
Yeah, I think it's a fair criticism. So in past couple of years, we have lagged slightly behind the innovation, but this is exactly what we're changing. So focusing primarily on manufacturing, so bringing the advanced scheduling, warehouse management, which are often used as a bolt-on on top of ERP. All this functionality we are now bringing in ERP, and then we are applying AI to do meaningful things. So inventory optimization, taking the mundane out, updating the pricing, accelerating the purchasing to the quote process. These are the exciting innovations that we've been working on.
So you have the adaptive ERP, you have Champion AI, You have Redzone connected workforce. What is QAD now? Is it an ERP company? Is it an AI company?
No.
Is it workforce? Is it all the above?
It's the manufacturing platform. So we see manufacturing, from the perspective, there are frontline workers who are working with the systems, using processes, and they need speed. So the way it works is that Redzone focuses on connected workers, so empowering the front line, because ultimately these are the people who are working on those lines. Then they need a system which actually works for them, and that is where ERP comes in, those workflow. And then all these two things are being empowered by Champion AI underneath, which essentially is empowering and amplifying the human potential. That's how we see. So we're not looking this ERP versus MES versus this. We are building a platform which addresses all the problems that our customers face in a factory.
Champion AI. This is different. This isn't anything that you guys have had for a super long time. So it's real.
No, it's all brand new, man.
Yeah. So tell me about it. How did you guys get to this point where you've got this Champion AI platform?
Yeah, this is super cool. Well, actually, I was approached by Redzone to work in manufacturing, and my initial response was no. Like, I don't want to work in manufacturing. Like,
Sounds boring.
It sounds boring. I met with them, and they showed me a story. They told me a story about how when you engage workers in in manufacturing, when you engage workers in the real time, and then you empower them to take real-time decisions, like let them make the decision in the real time. And then when you recognize these people for their contributions, how that creates these miracles, right? And it, you talk to Ken about it, but you'll see that Redzone will drive 29% productivity uplifts in 90 days. And what they showed me is that these miracles that were happening inside of manufacturing had nothing to do with AI or dashboards or technology. It was about people. And so when I took over AI and I began to build that strategy, that was at the root of what we were trying to do. It was this idea that we wanted to create an environment where we could amplify the potential of humans to basically empower them, to take this, to engage them, to empower them, and then to recognize them. Right. And so we believe that the combination of AI and humans together is actually a much more powerful thing, right?
So you've got this Champion AI layer, and then you've got Adaptive ERP, and then of course Redzone for the connected workforce. Talk about Champion AI and how it interconnects QAD products as well as non-QAD products.
Yeah, this is actually really cool. So when we first approached this problem, what we recognized is that there's a lot of manufacturing software out there, that today manufacturers have all these different pieces of software, and what they needed is not more optimization in silos. So technically speaking, how we architected it is that Champion AI is a loosely coupled platform that has been embedded in all the QAD products, right? And actually it's built in a way that actually can be embedded in third-party products as well, right? To be really loosely coupled so that, it makes it real easy for you to integrate it into new things. We don't want to be everything to everyone. We want to build the best AI for manufacturers out there.
It almost seems as though the Champion AI is a interoperable technology that could work not only with QAD, but with other non-QAD products as well.
Absolutely. So Champion AI is a platform that sits on top. It's the agentic layer that allows fast action, fast decision-making, fast analysis, so that we can go not just fast on deployment. I'm fast on the deployment guy, but also we need to go fast speed to value and fast decision-making. So within a meeting, within a decision-making space in the factory, how can you very quickly analyze a complex amount of data, get recommendations, what-if scenarios, take action, and actually make a difference for the business? So Champion can sit on either one. We've got Champion on Redzone, we've got Champion on Adaptive, and we have agents, specific agents that are very persona-based on actual manufacturing operations people, which is very important.
What's the biggest challenge that you see your customers facing when they're trying to implement some of these capabilities?
Yeah, that's a great question. I see two challenges. One is traditionally, when we talk about a traditional implementation of an ERP software, there is a time commitment that is required from the customer. We cannot implement the project without the support of the customer team, the business users that are going to be responsible for the application.
Right.
So that is one first barrier that we have. That is a challenge, the availability of the customer in terms of committing with that implementation. That is another advantage of us going and say, guess what? Now with this agentic approach that we have during the implementation, we can actually reduce the time that you, business user, will be involved in this particular task. So I can free up your time. So that, I think, it's challenge number one. The challenge number two, it has to do with, are we able to evolve the current processes into something more productive, something better? So there is a change management, because sometimes customers are doing that for many years. We know that an ERP is not a solution that customers replace every 2-3 years. It's something that stays there 10 years, 15 years, and they are committed with that. So how can we evolve them from where we are, to where they are today in terms of process execution, to where they could be with the new software? So we have to bring some change management into that process in order to say, you understand that by evolving your process into this specific direction with all of these features that we're bringing to the table, you can do a better inventory management, a better warehouse management, a better sales process, a better production scheduling or production planning process. That's great. If we are able to make them to visualize that, they will say, I want that, right? So then we overcome this barrier of changing, right? I think it's the second challenge that I could summarize in changing where they are today to do something new.
Right. And being open-minded and understanding and seeing the possibilities of how technology could
Exactly. And that's where we want to be very proactive in going to customers and say, look, let's talk about how this software is not just a feature or functionality that we're going to show you. We're going to show how you are receiving real business outcomes of it. You know, things that maybe you are not having today that you can have as you move into this new adaptive release that we just, announced here.
Right. So Tom and Andy, thanks for being here today. Tom, you're with QAD. Andy, you're a customer of QAD. And Tom, I guess I'll start with you and ask what is the biggest development you're seeing right now in the QAD ERP space for manufacturing?
Yeah, so AI. It's not just a buzzword. It's part of our direction, part of our roadmap. We realize that the direction of AI integrated with ERP and other solutions. I think about my kids. I've got, a couple college-age kids, and I've got one in high school and one just outside of college as well. And I think that how they're going to work, 18, 24 months from now, they're not going to be navigating through transactions in an ERP. They're going to be prompting AI.
Right.
And the AI is going to handle the back end through APIs and that kind of thing. So that's the biggest thing I see right now, is really trying to deploy AI in the ERP space and drive value for customers in that way. Yeah.
So my days of memorizing transaction codes are going away?
I think so. I mean, I can't, I demo and show videos of our AI solution, and, sometimes you just don't even bring up the ERP. You have it there, but you're not navigated to anything. You're just browsing with the system, and you're prompting with the system. I don't imagine that people are going to go back. Right. If I can just upgrade, create a purchase requisition just through prompting, why would I navigate to the transaction and go through a number of screens? Every ERP, you have to navigate through several screens to do that. And why would I do that if I could just prompt? So I think it's going to be a big change, a big, massive change in how users interact with ERP and other solutions.
It's really interesting because it's, in our personal lives, we're already there. We're using Google. We've been using Google for a long time now. We're using ChatGPT and other AI models to solve personal problems or to address day-to-day needs. So why not in the business type of space as well?
Yeah.
Now, you also have experience with the legacy QAD product suite, and you've been a key influencer or a source of input for the new product suite for QAD. Tell me what you've seen in terms of evolution of the product in the last, say, 10 to 15 years.
Wow. 10 to 15 years. Okay. So I think a big part of it has been, QAD has always been focused on manufacturing. So they're not the ERP system for everyone, right? And even more so, they're focused on specific vertical markets. So my company's automotive, and QAD has for a very, very long time had a focus on automotive. And what that means is that it's very feature rich in the things that automotive customers need, right? So, I mean, that is really the history, the foundation that a lot of this is built on.
Right. How would you summarize the takeaways from this week?
Well, I mean, it's been a fantastic 48 hours, I have to say, tremendous amount of engagement with our clients. I think, the whole message around, this is the time for manufacturing. It's a great opportunity, yet there is a challenge, capacity is way lagging behind demand, or let's say the investment that is going into manufacturing. So, I think all our clients understood the sense of urgency and but then with the sense of urgency, what are the options? And so I think when we propose our manufacturing platform with Redzone empowering the front line and adaptive, the intelligent backbone, and then Champion AI, which is our agentic layer, being the amplifying human potential, that landed very well, in terms of how we can support them in being able to address this challenge.
Right. Where do you hope or expect to see QAD this time next year when we're ready for the next Champions of Manufacturing Conference next year? Where do you hope QAD is, and what do you plan to accomplish in this next year?
The number one platform in manufacturing. And I tell you why we have this ambition is because we believe we have the right and the depth and the experience. QAD was born for manufacturing. When you look at all the other ERPs on the market, they didn't start from that core of manufacturing, the bill of material, and we did, So we are deep in manufacturing. We're obviously not in every sector. We're in automotive, industrial, food and beverages, and life sciences, and those are the four verticals that we know very well. So, my ambition very clearly is to be the number one manufacturing platform.
That's good stuff. Now, one thing I have not talked about with others yet, and sort of a closing question I have for you, is you just mentioned system of record versus system of action. Help us understand what that means and how it applies to the everyday manufacturer when they're thinking about QAD or any other sort of enterprise technology.
Yeah, no, absolutely. ERPs are effectively, systems that log, report, they store. So they are systems of record, So for example, a user can easily ask Champion AI, show me all my open orders, show me all my orders that have an issue with delivery date, show me looking forward, backwards. Can you simulate whether I can ship this on time or I can't? What would I need to do to change the lead time to be able to do it? All of those things can be done in Champion AI, which starts becoming, it's a proactive way of doing things. It is a system of action. And that's what we have now built with Champion AI. And so the business user can focus on action rather than all of that, analytics and preparation that they have to do to actually then get to being able to do anything about it.
Yeah. And that's what we want, right? Is that we want action,
Absolutely.
we want
that's
a result.
What the value is.
Right.
And we want we want Champion AI to be coming up with options, next best actions. And then at some point in time, with the human in the loop, things can either be decided by the human being or the operator or automated, depending on, what is the magnitude of that decision. And, once we are very confident about that outcome, or let's say that the recommendation, then you can also automate that decision making. So
that's great stuff. Well, I appreciate you spending the time with me here today.
Thank you. Thank you for coming down, and, really appreciate you coming and spending time with us here.
So that's what some of the experts have to say about QAD, where the company is headed, where it fits within the overall manufacturing space. And my general takeaway from this conference and having learned more about QAD's new product suite is a few things. First of all, they've got a core ERP system that's built specifically for manufacturing. So if you're a mid-sized manufacturer, it could be a good fit for you. If you're a super large or a super small manufacturer or outside the manufacturing space, probably not so great of a fit. The second thing to keep in mind is that QAD is really embracing this interoperability model where they've got the Champion AI toolset that allows you to not only integrate with QAD products, but also non-QAD products. If you've got a manufacturing execution system or CRM or an HR tech you want to integrate into your overall tech stack, Champion AI can be a good way to do that and leverage AI as well as agentic AI within that. And then the third thing I'd leave you with is that even though it's really exciting to hear where QAD is going with their product line, it's important to recognize that these are largely new products. Adaptive ERP is just released here in late 2025. There's still a lot of case studies to be determined on how those implementations go and how they fit with different organizations. But based on QAD's track record in the manufacturing space, it's safe to assume that it could be a good fit for your organization. So if you'd like to learn more about different types of technologies that you might benefit from in your digital transformation, if you're a manufacturer, be sure to check out our annual digital transformation report specifically for manufacturers. You can read that by scanning the QR code right here, or you can go to the links below. So if you found this information useful, I hope you have a great day.